Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's Linda here with you with another daily dose reading. This reading is timeless though, so it's not only relevant on the day it's uploaded, so anytime you come across it, you could find some relevant and insightful messages here, so tune in. Here is this card represents where you are now. This is what challenges you face, what resources you can use, what are the hidden forces, potential outcome, and here is the spiritual lesson. Alright, give me a second here to tune in. I feel like the message in this reading is that maybe you haven't been so in tune with your intuition at this time, or perhaps around a specific issue. There could be something there that is like some messages that you received or some information you received intuitively. You might have misinterpreted those. And that could have led you perhaps to a space where there was some kind of challenging energy, either a miscommunication to a person or a delay in something beginning, or some kind of financial challenge. I feel like there's something in this reading about a misinterpreted intuitive impulse, but with the priestess here coming out as the potential outcome, I feel like it's about you getting like a really a tough lesson, but a valuable lesson about intuition and about your psychic field and the energy that you are interpreting in your psychic field. Especially also with this rune coming out here, because this rune actually represents protection. This is actually upright position. In this direction, it's actually in reverse. So this is, and in the upright position, this represents a shield or a protective armor or something kind of, covering you from forces that might try to harm you somehow. Like this is about defense, right? But in the reverse, I feel like there's some kind of like interruption between your intuitive psychic impulses and again also this Eight of Wands in reverse. This is what's challenging, right? So it feels to me like there is some interruption or disruption, or the energy between like your crown chakra and the energy that's coming in to inform you, as somehow there's been some disruption there because some kind of energy has been like something in your energy field has become a little disruptive, or there's some kind of force that may be like seeking to interfere, or I don't know if I'm getting this. I hope this is making sense. I feel like there's some interference. There's some kind of interference here. And but the overall lesson here is you as the priestess, this is what you can, the potential outcome of this situation is that you become more finely attuned to that which may be seeking to interfere. I'm talking about things on an energetic level. In other words, you might be under psychic attack here. That's what I'm feeling. You could be under psychic attack and not be fully aware of it. But the way that you become aware of it is by realizing that what intuitive impulses you had turned out to be wrong. And so it's just making you become much more finely attuned to the energies that come through that are informing you. And it's making you become much more aware as well that there's certain, it's like the difference between, I'm getting this energy very clearly and very strongly. I'm just struggling a little bit to describe it in words. So give me a second here, be patient. It's like what you sense and what you perceive is just ever so slightly different from what's really happening. It could be vastly different, it could be slightly different. It depends on where you're at and what's going on for you. But like, I'm sorry if I'm feeling a little bit like I'm finding it hard to put the words together to this energy. And maybe that's also part of it. Like sometimes that happens when I'm doing these readings. It's like if I'm struggling to explain something, then sometimes it's because that's what's part of the energy. It's like there's some, like I feel right now like there's something interfering with my ability to channel this information, and that's exactly what I'm trying to describe here. It's like there's some kind of interference or some kind of psychic or spiritual, I don't want to say attack, but it could be something like that. Like there's something interfering with your ability to channel information clearly. And what it does is affect your ability to perceive what's actually really there, because there's some kind of energy in your field, because there isn't enough psychic protection. That's the message here, psychic protection, because you are the priestess, right? You have the ability to perceive. But unless you realize that your energy field needs to be fucking watertight, energy tight, because there are certain energies in the universe that maybe see that you have that ability, but if you're not fully attuned and developed enough to realize that you need to be not naive and you need to protect yourself so that you aren't fully visible to entities that seek to interfere or mess with or to use you. That's the other thing here too. You might be being used by certain spiritual forces in the universe that aren't necessarily all love and light, man. Okay? You need to be aware about that. I think the Page of Wands here also is a very interesting card in this reading. Just let me tune in there. So that card represents the resources that you can use, right? I think it's simply representing that you need to be aware that you don't know all there is to know, and that you are, even though you are finely attuned and you are quite vibrating quite high and you have a lot of strong intuition and you are the priestess, you need to be aware that you don't know everything that there is. And this particular instance that you're dealing with right now, where there is this kind of, maybe your defenses are down, or there's some kind of forces that may be seeking to interfere with your energy, some kind of psychic attack or spiritual attack that's happening here. The Page of Wands is saying that you need to realize that you can't be so naive about these things. And like, it's not all fluffy and love and light and peace. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not always all that, you know. Just because you're seeking to do good and your agenda is good and you're trying to be a good person doesn't mean that you're not ever going to be harmed by forces that seek to harm. Don't be naive. Be aware. Be much more aware than you are right now. That's super important here. There are some hidden dangers. There are some hidden dangers. There are some forces that at play that are seeking to manipulate and use you as a tool for their agenda. Be aware about that. Use protection. You work with your own energetic field to surround yourself with love, and make sure that you check before you start channeling any entity that shows up. Where are they from? What is their agenda? Test them. Don't just like connect and tune into any force, any energy that shows up. You need to be aware. So, and be also aware too that, like, as more time goes by, as this awakening intensifies and there's more people that are showing up, that are lighting up, that the energies that are seeking to manipulate are actually finding it easier to find a host, because they can very simply show up and pretend to be something that they're not, and the newbies and the rookies might just feel like super important that this energy is showing up to communicate through them, that they don't even bother check who they are or where they're from. Check the credentials. Just be aware here. Not everything that shows up and tells you it's love and light and peace is actually love and light and peace. Everything needs to be up for consideration here at this time. There is a lot of forces seeking to manipulate. Evil is around. Don't be naive about that. Alright, I don't know if I have more to say on that. Let me just have a moment here to check in on that. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like I kind of covered this reading. I don't know specifically if there's more I need to say about that. Just give me a second. Yeah, I kind of feel like I covered that in the sense that, like, if you are becoming awakened and you are like becoming a channel and opening to that energy of the priestess, just be aware that it's like finding the right balance between openness and willingness versus naivety and foolishness and youthfulness and arrogance, as well as being aware of maintaining a grounded energetic connection to the earth. I feel like there's forces at play that could be easily manipulating you because you're not grounded enough. That's also what I'm getting from this Page of Wands too. Like, even though this is the fire element, this staff here is the connection between the other world and the earth, right? But in the reverse position, it's not grounded. If you're not grounded, you can't actually really get the clarity of the information and messages that forces from other places want to bring through. Being grounded is incredibly important part of being the channel or being a priestess. You have to be grounded. You have to be firmly planted on the ground. You have to be humble as well and maintain a very practical and simple life. Don't get carried away. Alright, I'm going to leave that there, I think. Watch that one again. I feel like that I'm going to definitely watch that one again. I feel like there's some messages there for me as well. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.